every house we pulled up, the water's to the roofline.
That's insane, bro.
Yeah. So I lost everything, man. You know, being a shop owner and everything, I lost everything. A salon, everything in the house.
That was 2 shops you lost down there, right?
Two shops. Yep. And literally had to start, life back over.
Hey, yo, what's good, man? Shop Talk, Bridging the Gap, man. I am your host, J-Rock, man. We are here at the beautiful Unique Techniques Barber Shop out here in Garland, Texas, man. I got the owner right here, man. The living legend, man, of the master cutter himself, Bo Diesel. Bo Diesel in the building, man. Young Magic over there, man. New Orleans in the building, man. So for me, man, this is really a special one for me because this has been a long time coming, man. I remember right when Hurricane Katrina, after Hurricane Katrina, when y'all two put this together, man, and I was here when y'all was building it and laying it all out and everything, man. So, and I've been pushing to get this done, so I'm really happy to be here, man. But it's not about me, it's about these two guys right here, man. So go ahead and introduce yourself, bro, and let them know what's going on with you, man, and all that.
Bo Diesel, New Orleans native, 25 years, barbershop, Unique Techniques. It all got started, man. I was my pop. He was a barber, and he actually put the clippers in my hand when I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? So me being 13, and I every time I would finish a cut, there was this mom and pop store across the street from my dad's barbershop called Burger Queen.
But this was in New Orleans, right? Where was this at?
Yeah, it's in New Orleans.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's Burger Queen. So everybody in America, everybody know Burger King, but this was a mom and pop store called Burger Queen.
Yeah.
And so every time I would finish a head, I would go run across the street, and buy me a burger, man. They had burgers as big as a Whopper for 76 cents. We talking about back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah.
And so, but what it really intrigued me, man, at a young age, being 13 and cutting hair, and I was like, every time I finish, I said, you mean to tell me every time I finish a head, I'm gonna get paid?
Yeah, it's a gratification,
you know
baby.
What I mean?
It's a gratification, baby.
Yeah. So that intrigued me as a kid, man.
You had some shops. In New Orleans before Katrina, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had 2 of them. They were called Unique Techniques too?
Unique Techniques.
So tell me how that came about too, and then we're going to get to Mr. Magic over there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I had 2 shops in New Orleans, and both of them was doing well. And I mean, everybody from New Orleans knows me as Uncle Bo, you know what I mean?
Uncle Bo.
And, and it's amazing how now, I was that young kid, coming up in the game. And now being that old school, that
OG,
OG,
yeah.
Say, now Uncle Bo, school. Now.
They call man, we unks now.
Nah, I'm school now. You know what I mean? So that was amazing. It goes without saying,
Yeah. That's what's up. So we're going to come back to the shops in a minute. So go ahead. Now, this man over here, man, this guy been rocking actually before the shop even came into existence, man. You know what I'm saying? And he and I hooked up on a bunch of different entrepreneur stuff like earlier in the day. We got some more stuff coming in the future, man. But right now, man, I'm going to go and let you introduce yourself one more time and tell them about you and your story too, man.
So Dwayne Jackson, everybody calls me Magic. I'm known by Magic. Everybody calls me Magic.
Yes, sir.
So from New Orleans, this is my cousin family. So when he talks about my uncle pretty much trying to give all of us that gift of, cutting the hair. So him and my cousin Dank were the ones that actually took to it, and they ran with it. And so when I would come back from Dallas to New Orleans, I would always tell him, like, bruh, if you could take this and put this in Dallas, I was like, bruh, it would explode down in Dallas.
Yeah.
Because I would come home, man, the shop is full. They got everything in there. They're from selling food, the clothes.
Yes, sir.
I would come there, pick up a fresh fit.
Get a haircut and get a fresh fit. Look, one-stop shop.
One-stop shop. And so I'm telling him, like, man, if you could take this and bring this to Dallas.
Yeah, all day.
I'm like, it would explode.
Yeah.
We had those talks multiple times of me coming home. Every time I came home, came to get a cut, and came to just chop it up with cuz, and there was always something happening.
Always.
So that barbershop was always the place for everybody.
Yeah. Black man therapy, like you say, man.
Therapy,
all day,
man. So
you know what I'm saying?
Get there, everything is happening. The shop is full. The shop talk is there. So we're talking about everything from politics to sports to religion.
Everything
open game.
Like I said, you get you something to eat. You get your outfit.
Yeah, you can buy some DVDs.
You ready to go.
You buy everything.
So, we talked about that for a minute, man. And so, unfortunately with Katrina, that was an unfortunate situation, but it actually turned into a blessing in disguise.
Yeah,
Right,
It typically does.
Because it's down here, we talked about it
Yeah.
and talked about this whole process before it even happened. We've spoken into existence before it even happened.
Yeah.
And so one day, I don't know if you remember, he surprised me. He said, "Hey, what you doing?" He was like, "Let me show you something." And we drove around here and you showed me this building, and I was like, "Oh, let's go."
Yeah.
And it just kind of started from there. Started slow and started building until, to the point where he had all of the chairs full. He was like, he kind of masterminded the whole play. I was just support on anything that you needed.
Yeah, that was
from
right
that,
there.
But for the most part, he just took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
And it started just from a discussion, like, "Yo, I'm here, man. What I'm doing now?" I'm like, the same thing. I'm like, remember, this is what we talked about. Popping it off of here. So
Now, did that conversation that you just talked about, that happened when you was in the house? Because ladies and gentlemen, for those you don't know, I'm going to put it out there. This man let 20-something people, family members, come live in his house right around the corner after Katrina. So I want you to speak on that and tell me. First of all, tell me how it was when you was there. You said you was evacuating.
I remember like yesterday, man. It was like 20 families up in the house. And we had like 16 bags of trash a week, man.
Wow.
So I had to order more cans.
Yeah.
So but it was love though. Like it was love, bro. Man, look, it wasn't what you would think if you had 23 people in one.
Yeah.
And so now I see why other cultures do it. Because everything was taken care of. So the ladies were, taking care of it, making sure, that the place was spotless and
food
was cooked and we were going out and getting it and bringing the money back home to the families. And so it was just a beautiful experience, man. You know what I mean? And like we were sad when it was time for everybody to go. When everybody started
branching out.
Everybody got situated.
It was a sad time because it was such a beautiful experience. Man. You know what I mean? And like I said, that was part of it that I loved, having my family around. So it was then there where we would have those conversations. Either in the garage or in the backyard. We'd be out there talking and watching the kids play or, around that doing something with them. And we would have those conversations. And then, like I said, he was like, "Hey, let me show you something. What you doing?" And drove me around here, man. And that was one of the happiest feelings I ever had, like seeing it, because I immediately saw the vision that he had. Immediately saw it. And it was like, "Oh, let's go." Like that is a no-brainer. You know what I mean? And been rolling ever since.
So being from New Orleans, every year we would have to evacuate, around hurricane season. So so the year Katrina, there was actually, I think, my second time, because the first time we had to evacuate, we came out here by Cuz. And then Cuz, he brought me around Dallas, and I rode around Dallas, showed me where, and we on 75 and 70, and I'm looking at 75 with the buildings on the side of that. I'm like, man, this place is nice.
Hey, that's real, though. That's real, dude.
I'm like, man, I'm like, man, Cuz, I said, this is what's happening, So, every year we would have to evacuate, and as men, whenever we going out of town or where we going somewhere, we always overpack. So the year Katrina happened, the wife, she said, "Well, we coming right back. We just gonna be 2-3 days, and the storm is gonna blow over, and we gonna come right back." And so why are you taking all that? So I said, "You know what, baby? You're right." So I put my things back. But this time it was Hurricane Katrina. So, I mean, man, when I tell you we lost everything, I had 2 outfits that I started back over in Texas with 2 outfits.
Say that again.
2 outfits that I had to start life back over in Texas. So, Cheerio. Don't
2 outfits.
And from there to where we at now, because I think you was working at Old Navy. Your job.
I remember that. Yeah.
So him being the manager there, I think they did something with your job where they treated all the families and stuff like that.
So I made a couple of phone calls to find out if the company was doing anything for victims of that. Right? And so they were like, "Hey, well, we're able to do this, like a certain amount for the families." I said, "Well, I have a couple of families that need some stuff that I want to be able to bring in. So they gave us an amount. Shout out to Old Navy for that, because they didn't have to.
For real.
They were like, no problem. They can come and get, up to a certain amount. And I think everybody was able to come and get out, multiple outfits.
Something.
Like,
yeah.
Man, it was dope because, like he said, you're literally leaving your home with 2 outfits.
Two outfits,
then there was points where we're at it's 23 of us in my house. We're in the living room, and they had something where you could pull it up on the side. Remember that? On the satellite, where you could look at your property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can type your address in, and it'll pull your property in.
Yeah.
And the water was to the roof.
Yeah.
Everywhere you looked at, everybody's house.
We pulled up, because, it's a bunch of families in the house.
Yeah.
And every house we pulled up, the water's to the roofline.
That's insane, bro.
Yeah.
So everything inside of that is
it's gone. It's a wrap.
gone.
It's a wrap.
So I lost everything, man. Being shop owner and everything, I lost everything. A salon, everything in the house.
That was 2 shops you lost down there, right?
Two shops. Yep. And literally had to start, life back over with 2 outfits, man.
2 outfits.
2 outfits.
That's
back
crazy.
there,
And I'm like, and that's crazy. I was just telling them, like, man, we came a long way from then to now.
For real.
You know what I mean? Because that was a process for me watching my family go through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's only so much you can do to help. But I'm like, man, what I do have is this. Y'all can stay here until you get on your feet, man.
Yeah.
I do everything I can to make y'all as comfortable as possible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And from that point on, now the discussions for here started to happen.
That's what's up.
And it was just, talk of, hey, what do we need to do? What needs to happen? And it really just started from a conversation. And that's usually how
good ideas
work.
and
how good ideas work is you putting it out in the atmosphere and kind of talking about it.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where at one point he was cutting in the garage.
That's where it started. Yep.
It started in the garage.
In the garage.
Started from the garage. So I was going around, cutting in the garage. I did Uncle B, them family. And then, fast forward when we moved out, when we got our own crib in the, Bayshore townhomes, and I turned the garage into a salon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just took over the neighborhood and reestablished my clientele there. And I said, you know what? And then since, me being around the corner because I said, you know what? This is a perfect area where if I put a salon, I want to do it right here in this area. So, having everybody, the families that I was doing, and then everybody come to me when I opened the shop, man, it just took off from there.
Took off.
Yeah.
It took off and started from 2 barbers.
Mm-hmm. It was 2.
Started 2 originally.
Yeah.
God, rest in peace, my boy Rel.
Yeah, rest in peace, my boy Rel.
That's what's up.
I started with them 2, and I'm talking about they was in here bench pressing this every day.
Every day.
You know
That's
what I
what's
mean? And then it started to just grow, word of mouth. People come to get their hair cut, and it grew and grew and grew until this thing was packed, and this was kind of the spot to be.
That's what's up.
And all these years later, it was 20 years later, man, still rolling.
Still rolling, yeah. It was surreal to pull up, man, because I hadn't been out here. It had to be like 10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's been a long time since I've been out here.
At least 10
so
years.
I was pulling out, I was like, damn, I'm starting to get butterflies, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but all right. So I wanted to get that history and that background from y'all because I know it was a lot of things that you went through. Yeah. And a lot of things your families went through, but out of all the trauma, something beautiful came out of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, speaking of that and the next generations, because bridging the shop talk to me, and I was talking to Dwayne about it, was about working with the young G's and bridging that gap between the OGs, like what we consider ourselves to be, and the young G's, which is the youngsters. So I had the initial idea to have a shop series, and I've been talking to Dwayne about it, but it all clicked that one night when you called me, you was talking to Ant. So tell me about that, how that with the young G's, with the Ant coming in and saying that, he didn't like some things about that generation and so on and so forth. That's when it clicked for you.
No, it was actually a conversation I had with Ant and Jamil, driving Jamil back to school.
Yeah.
And so we started talking about the difference in generations, about our generation and their generation. And we started talking about relationships and courting women and, pursuing women and stuff like that. And so when we started talking about it, we started noticing a difference from us, our conversations were just that, conversations. Whereas to get a girl. Now they were talking about these grand gestures that they had to do. Like, and to give you an example of it, was like homecoming. We would just ask a girl to homecoming.
Right.
Do signs and do skits and balloons and stuff like that. And so I was just telling them about me taking a girl on a picnic. Like, nah, man, when I didn't have no money, because we was talking about not having no money.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, oh, no, that's easy, dog. You little picnic, you put a blanket out, you go sit down with her, talk, and you can kind of, that little romantic idea would turn into something. And they was like, oh, no, girls are hip to that. Like, you got to spend money now. I'm like, you got to spend money for girls.
They totally changed the game from back I was then to now, for sure.
And so we were just sitting in the car going back and forth, kind of exchanging ideas and then talking about the difference between them and now. And they were telling me everything that they're going through. And I'm telling them all of the stuff that we did in ours. And I was like, and it was funny because having that conversation with them for that hour or so that it took to drive Jamil back to school, it was, the light bulb kind of went on where they understood me a little bit more, I understood them a little bit more, and that had a little more empathy for what they were going through. So now, because they have a tendency to call old heads haters, because we don't understand where they're coming from.
Exactly.
Like, man, y'all doing a whole lot of sipping out here.
Yeah, a whole lot of that, bro. And making it popular, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but when they got to explaining how big social media is,
that's the difference.
How big of an influence it is on their life that we didn't have to deal with. And the light bulb for me went on like, oh, y'all are doing this with a million eyes watching.
Right.
So that's why the young ladies are looking for grand gestures from y'all, because people are watching. And y'all have to show what they're doing for y'all in order for it to kind of resonate. And so another thing that they brought up and was this young dude was so proud that he had bought his girl like a Honda Civic or Honda Accord, and the internet destroyed this dude for buying her a Honda. And I'm like, that's the kind of stuff y'all are dealing with? He was like, yeah, they're like, y'all don't understand. That's what we're dealing with. And y'all call us like simps and stuff. But everybody's watching it. Everybody has an opinion. And I was like, you know what would be the easy thing to do? Is just turn that shit off.
Turn it off.
But they can't do that. They can't do that.
No.
They can't do it.
And so it was an eye opener for me. And it was an eye opener from, I coach basketball, high school basketball. So coaching on the girl side now, coaching on the boy side for years. And so my boys would have those conversations with me along with the girls. And I didn't understand it until that car ride. That car ride explained it a lot to me. It clicked. And I was like, if there's a way that we could have those conversations on a regular basis, then that would bridge the gap between that younger generation and the older generation.
And right there, ladies and gentlemen, why we call it Shop Talk, bridging the gap, baby. Let's get it. This is the legendary Domino table in Unique Techniques, man.
It's a terror dome. You see the wood, you see the box and engraved for the wood, for the salmon and the shit talking on top of that.
I'll pull up
and
on
that's
you.
something else that I missed. We'll do another episode. I used to hit celebrities like all the Hornets and the Pelicans and stuff like that.